Alright, so this is going to be a short commentary on the current track of the day. First I'll show the replay. And this is by Marinjntje and Hiko. It's called Vinyl. And it's basically got a couple drifts and some plastic. And here we've got this kind of airtime reduction thing. But other than that, it's mostly turns. Actually, it has 3 drifts, sorry. So, I'm not going to give like an overall judgment of the track, I guess, probably. Like, I'm not going to give a rating, but let's just go through it quick. The start here, this point right here is super blind while you're driving. You cannot see this. Like, I'll just play it again. You need to be turning like right here in order to hit this apex, and it's like hidden behind the poles and the slope. And then you need to get it really nicely because you need to time the right steer here in order to hit this apex. So this entire first plastic turn is actually basically over by the time you leave this road piece here, which isn't on its own necessarily terrible. However, I think this start is significantly more difficult than the rest of the track, and it makes the map kind of start sim. The plastic turn itself is fine, this drift is okay, this is alright. The gear there can be a little... you can lose it a good amount of the time. I don't think that's really a problem on its own, but I did find it frustrating because it meant that I was more sitting at the start the entire time I was playing. It probably wouldn't be a problem if not for this part right here being also annoying. And to start sim, so yeah, really just to start simulator, that's my main issue with the track. I like this plastic turn combination here. The grip can be a little tricky, but I kind of enjoy it. I don't know how to feel about this airtime reduction thing where you kind of want to get the wobble. I think plastic can be a little weird sometimes with driving in straight lines because you always want to be sliding because it's so much faster to SD. However, it's very easy to no slide or get stuck not sliding, I should say. And that can make it a little inconsistent sometimes, but I didn't have too much trouble with it, so I think it's all right. I think it's interesting as an idea to be like adding in this wobble, just like a fun little thing to gain time with. This part here, this drift and the entry to it. My issue with this drift is that it basically never flows. So what I mean by that is you basically have to be... sorry, I messed it up. You basically have to be stopping steering for a bit in the middle. So you kind of got like a PF section right here, which makes the entry to the drift rather awkward because you're trying to like go far to the right but avoid touching the wall. And then the exit is just like continuing turning on the plastic. So that's not even very interesting. And the entry is just kind of awkward because of the angle you enter it at. So if you were to ask like what would fix this, I would say we should be turning left into the turn much earlier. And that would probably make it a lot easier to make the drift setup in a way where it doesn't have this issue. Like if we were starting turning left right here. This plastic section is alright. I'm not a huge fan of these random grip elements. I know they've been popping up more recently. I don't know what other people's opinions on that are. I know I've seen some people get mad at this type of thing. I'm probably leaning towards thinking they shouldn't be used much. And I didn't particularly like this one, but it's not terrible or anything. I don't know. That's just kind of a general trend in mapping. This is like a fun little combination on the water block here into this drift. This is probably the best drift on the map. I kind of messed this part up on my run. But I also like the last plastic turn here, where you come around this big turn, hit the apex late there, and then drive onto this narrow block and jump into the finish. I think that's pretty cool. So yeah, those are my opinions.